Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. Thank you for joining me for another video. Today's quite an exciting one because it's the first kind of video in moving forward into 2019 and trying to think about the year ahead, but also reflect on the year we've just had, and it's exciting. I know I've called this video resolutions, but I want to think about it as more as kind of like tangible goals I would love to achieve in 2019. This year I was able to achieve a lot of things because I thought about them, I wrote them down, and I worked really hard to achieve them. I feel like writing things down is actually, I don't know, it puts me in a mindset that makes me feel like, right, this is something I've thought about, I've written it down, and how satisfying is it to be able to go back and just tick that off and be like, yes, I did it. So that's what I've done. I've thought about 50 things that I would love to achieve in 2019, and I've also written down 10 things I'm really proud of that I achieved in 2018. So I'm going to run through those and then we're going to move on to what I want to achieve. And I don't think it's going to be a long video, but let's be honest, it probably will be. So I'll try and make it interesting for you. But as always, grab a cup of tea and let's just get straight into the video. And I just realized I forgot to light my candle. So let's do that. Let's get straight into it. Oh, hot. So when I sat down to write my kind of resolutions or my goals for next year, it kind of made me realize, I don't know, just how big I think the next year is actually going to be for me. I don't know why I thought that. I just kind of got this overwhelming sense of like excitement and just thinking about what next year could hold and what's gonna happen. Mainly because I think that things are really starting to take off for me, and everything that I'm doing in my life seems to really starting to like fully align with everything that I wanted from my activism, from my kind of career. And I don't know why I did this. Why did we do this? My career is what I mean. And I think one of the most important things that you need to do before you begin to write your resolutions or your goals for the next year is to look back on the year that you've just had and really think about what went well and what you achieved and the highlights of everything that happened in 2018 for you, but also how it felt to achieve those goals. Not just, oh, it was amazing that I achieved this, but thinking about how you really felt when something big happened for you, how exciting it was, how satisfying it was, and how all your hard work had finally got you to a point where you had exactly what you wanted. And I think this puts you in a really positive mindset for thinking about the things that you want to achieve in the next year. But also I think it makes us a little bit more brave in our hopes for what we want to achieve. Because sometimes, especially you'll see in the 50 things that I've written down, I will have thought about some things that I really want to achieve and they are quite tame and they're definitely achievable. But I've also tried to be brave and to put down some things that I think are actually really pushing me and pushing my boundaries and pushing what I think that I'm capable of doing. And that's, I think, what 2019 is going to be for me, and I hope it is for you as well. Pushing those boundaries of what you can achieve, valuing yourself and the skills that you have and what you have, you know, in you or within you to be able to do, and yeah, just push it. Okay, so let's talk about the 10 things that went really well for me this year that I achieved, and I really encourage you guys to do this as well. I would love to hear about your 10 things in the comment section below, and I would love to read all of them, and it would be great if we could all read each other's and just, you know, flood each other with some positivity, because that's what I feel like we need, you know? So for me, 2018 has been like a really great year and a really awful year in terms of really great in terms of my career and stuff that I'm doing, friendships, etc. But I've also had some really tough times, which I haven't really spoken about, but it's all, you know, culminated in the decisions I've made and where I am now, and it's just exciting. Just go put my tea down. So the 10 things that I'm really bloody proud of myself. Also, just to give you a little warning, there will be some swearing in this video, but that's because I think it's well deserved. I'm just saying. So the first one is I've gone fully freelance and I am now my own boss. This was a big, massive step for me, realizing one, that I could actually do it, two, that I hate having a boss and I really cannot work for someone else, but love working with other people. The second one is I've reached 100K on YouTube. Yay! This was my biggest goal when I first started my YouTube channel. Or maybe was it my biggest goal? I think it was one of my biggest goals, because I thought, oh my God, 100,000 people. I can't even comprehend how many people that is. And being able to reach that in time for Christmas it's pretty special, and I love you guys. You're so wonderful, and I'm just so blessed to have such an incredible community. Anyway, let's move on. This video is getting long. Number 3, I'm in a really great place with my boyfriend. We understand each other and our relationship is just getting stronger, and yeah, that's a good one. Number 4, I made some epic new friends. I actually can't believe how many new friends I've made online and offline. One of my faves is a wonderful person called Sahar, who I now work with at my gym, and she's just wonderful. And she makes me loads of vegan baked goods, and she's so nurturing, and I love it. I love her. Number 5 is I fully backed myself in lots of jobs that I got offered, like freelance jobs, even though I was shit scared and I knew that I had no clue as to whether I'd be able to do it or not. But I just thought, you know what? They've come to me for a reason, so I'm gonna say yes, and I'm gonna work my ass off to make sure that it goes well. And I backed myself, and to be honest, it worked, because I gave myself that proper level of confidence, slight arrogance, I guess, but in a good way, not in a way that I was like, I can do this without any work. No, I put the work in, believe me. And yeah, I'm really proud of that. Number 6 was I was accepted into the Ethical Writers Coalition. If you don't know what that is, it's just basically a group of women who all support one another in this kind of ethical writing field on blogs or YouTube or etc, which is really exciting, because I have also actually teamed up with one of the ethical writers. I don't know if you know Camille Shane. I've mentioned her before in one of my videos. If you haven't seen it, you should. And she has a Green Dreamers podcast where she talks all about sustainability, zero waste, low impact, eco warriors, eco fashion, everything, and it's wonderful, and I'll be talking more about that later. But I'm really excited to be part of a wonderful eco women's coalition that all support one another, so that was great. Number 7, I quit my job that I hated again. Number 8 is I spoke to hundreds of people at Vivolution, and I was the first person on the main stage, which is terrifying. And I spoke to hundreds of people about the movement that I created, the low impact movement, and it went really well. I had a lot of fun. I made lots of jokes, because that's what I do when I'm terrified. And I was just really proud of that, because it shows a massive leap from where I used to be to where I am now in terms of my self-confidence around what I'm promoting, my activism, etc. And also just being able to talk to that amount of people, even though I was shitting myself for weeks before. Number 9 is I actually created the movement, the low impact movement. It's had its ebbs and its flows. Some things have gone really well, some things have just... but that's okay. And yeah, I'm just really excited to see where we're going to take it next year, and just really proud of it. And the last thing is, and beware, swearing is coming. I was invited onto live radio, and I spoke on BBC One Extra, which was so cool. I literally could not have felt more cool to be on BBC One Extra, because BBC One Extra people are so cool. I'm so proud of that. That was one of my biggest moments, and I loved it. So what are your biggest moments? I would love to know. But let's move on. I'm gonna put some timestamps in the thing below, just in case you're all like, I don't care, Imi, I want to know what the resolutions are. So I'll put all that below. 50 things. I split this up into 5 different groups of genres, so that I can make it a little bit more easy. The first one is travel, the second one is social media, the third one is skills that I'd like to learn, 5 is yes, that's 5, isn't it, Imi? Well done. 4 is fitness, and 5 is challenges that I'd like to undertake. I did write self-care down, but then I just thought a lot of the stuff in the other stuff is kind of self-care-y, so I didn't write it down. Also, 60 doesn't sound great. 50 sounds like a nice round number. So let's just cycle through them, shall we? I find that if you write stuff down, it gives you this much kind of bigger sense of actually the possibility of achieving this is much higher, because not only have I thought about it, I've written it down and I put it not in stone, but kind of the idea now is there, and it's so much more cemented in my idea that this actually could happen. So this is where my collab with Camille comes in, because she's created these wonderful planners for 2019. Look at it, just look at it. And I got two. I got one for me and one for my sister because I feel like she needs to be planning as well. And I mean, I always love to support women-owned businesses, and obviously Camilla is another fellow ethical writer, so she's awesome. And also, I've been a massive fan of her podcast, Green Dreamers, which I have spoken about, which I definitely think that you guys should check out. What I love about this book though is that when you open it, it immediately says, "This Green Dreamer planner helped to plant 50 trees and belongs to." So I've been writing down my kind of goals in here and things that I want to achieve. And it's also nice because it has these things that I feel like this is really un-British, but maybe it's a good practice for us to start kind of practicing. Things like reflections, so actions I took for my personal life and well-being, what motivated me to take action, actions I took towards my professional goals. When I say un-British, I mean like we're very quiet and just, we don't need to be all reflective and blah, 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 blah. So it's actually be nice to be a bit more reflective. So basically, especially for the challenges that I'm doing, I'm gonna write them down in the different months so I can see exactly when I've planned to take the challenges, and it reminds me, and then I can get mentally prepared, and if I need to get anything or get rid of anything or whatever, blah, 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 I'll have kind of notice. And it's also nice to look at your whole year and to think about stuff in advance. So I love to waffle on, don't I? So let's get into the travel. These are things that I would like to achieve this year and or do, etc. And yeah. Number 1 is I'd like to cycle to Paris. Number 2 is I'd like to take the train from London to Lake Bled. 3, I'd like to take the train to Brussels. 4, I'd like to do a van trip to Cornwall, Scotland, or the Lake District. I'm not sure which one yet, but maybe all of them. Number 5 is I'd like to take the train to Edinburgh for the weekend. 6, I'd like to do a hiking trip / wild camping in Sweden. They have a train that basically goes from the south to the north, and you could like hop off for a couple of days and then hop back on and then blah, 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 blah. And that is obviously great. Number 7 is I'd like to take a day trip to Bath. Apparently it's beautiful. I've never been, and I don't know why, it's so close. Number 8, I'd like to spend a week in Brighton. Just rent an Airbnb, go there with my boyfriend and just chill out for a week. I don't know why I haven't done that. I love Brighton so much. Number 9 is go to Glastonbury. Already got my ticket, so that's a little bit of an easy one. But what I'd like to do is I'd like to go to Glastonbury and film how I'm trying to be low impact and low waste whilst at a festival. So that will be fun. And number 10 is to go to an abroad festival. So if you've maybe gathered from what I've been saying in this travel one, is I'm trying to either cycle or get the train to places because I've discovered how wonderful traveling is. But I would like to be more sustainable in the way that I do that. So going from London to Lake Bled, I think is going to be probably the most exciting one because you have to go from London to Paris or Brussels, then through Germany and then down into Slovenia. I think that's where Lake Bled is. It's really great that I really thought about this before. But it's just one of those places that's beautiful, it's very rural and just seems like a really great place to go. And it's a nice way to really just discover how amazing the trains are in Europe, and yeah, try and train and cycle a lot more rather than, you know. So onto social media. These are my top 10 goals that I would love to achieve next year. So I would love to reach like 75k on Instagram. I don't have that. That's like 30,000 more than I have at the moment, and I like having a small... Anyway, I'm not meant to be explaining, am I? I might just be running through them. I'd like to reach 250k on YouTube. Remember that these, I don't know, these are arbitrary numbers. I'm just kind of like trying to have a goal in mind so that I can work towards something rather than be like, I'd like to just gain more followers. Number 13 is I'd like to create a low impact story kind of zine, just because it's creative and it's fun. 14, I would like to post every Wednesday consistently, which I have been doing, which I'm quite excited about, but I'd like that to be a longevity. Number 15, I'd like to reach 50k on the Low Impact Movement Instagram. Go follow it if you don't already. I would like to possibly create a vlog channel where I talk more about, like, you know, daily vlogs, my fitness, CrossFit, what I eat, all that kind of stuff. 17, I'd like to reach 500 patrons on Patreon. Number 18, I would like to create a low impact podcast. 19, collaborate with at least 4 other women on YouTube this year. Again, 4 is an arbitrary number, at least 4 women. Obviously I'm open to more. And number 20 is I'd like to hold a meetup in London, Brighton or Edinburgh, or all three. I don't know why I've chosen those three. One, again, because I want to go to Edinburgh. I feel like it's a really beautiful place and I want to go. Anyway, let's move on to skills. Number 21, I'd like to take a photography workshop. Number 22, I'd like to read a book a week for a year. Now this is going to be one of my biggest challenges, and I was going to put it in challenges, but really it's a skill. I feel like to learn to read a bit faster and you're learning loads of stuff at the same time. And this is not going to be like any book. Each month there's going to be a different topic or a writer from a different country. Number 23 is I'd like to spend 50 hours learning After Effects within the year. Again, 50 is an arbitrary number, but I feel like that's a lot. 24, practice photography every day, even if that means taking one photo. 25, learn something new in Premiere Pro every time I edit a video, so that would be like once a week, maybe twice a week. 26 is to learn to sew or use my sewing machine a little bit better. Number 27 is to go to a ceramics class or go to a ceramics workshop. 28 is to become fluent in Spanish. Quite unlikely to happen, probably at least proficient. 29 is to learn about the American and the British kind of criminal justice system. I've got really into watching things like Making a Murderer or The Innocent Man and reading John Grisham books, and I'd just quite like to know more about it because it's really messed up. And number 30 is to learn how to fix and service my own bike, especially if I want to be cycling to places like Paris and hopefully further soon. I would love to cycle, make a really big trip out of London to Athens. That would be amazing. And then the next one is my fitness goals. So number 31 is to fix my knee injury for good. I think that's an important one. 32 is to get 10 pull-ups. 33, squat my body weight for at least 5 reps. 34 is to clean my body weight. Number 35 is to do strict toes to bar. At the moment I can barely do a kipping one, which is embarrassing. Number 36 is to be able to handstand walk at least 10 meters. 37 is to get 1 muscle up. And next to that I've written lol because we'll see if that happens. Number 38 is to do a strict press that is half my body weight, so it's about 32.5 kilos. Number 39 is I'd like to be able to link 50 double unders together. And then number 40 is I'd like to be able to deadlift my body weight. And then the last 10 is kind of challenges that I'd like to do. I really like to challenge myself and to try and push the boundaries of what I think is possible. I recently did it. I tried to wake up at 5 a.m. every day for a week. So go and check out that video if you want to see it because it was a good one. So the first of the challenges, I want to do a 30-day yoga challenge, and I'm going to do this in January because I'm going to be in the US with my boyfriend and he's going to be at work, and I've done basically all my work for January so that I can take January off. So it'd be nice to kind of incorporate some of that self-care of doing yoga, and I'm going to try and do it every day for 30 days. The second one is I want to do Inktober. If you don't know who Wild We Roam are, I love them and they have been wonderful doing their Inktober. They did a video every other day. Absolutely loved it. And if I have a vlog channel, I'll be uploading to there. The number 43 is I'd like to do a whole food plant-based diet for a month. I already eat obviously vegan, but sometimes I'm healthy, sometimes I'm not. I just want to see how it makes you feel if, I don't know, it's just a challenge. It's just a challenge. Number 44, obviously I'm going to be doing plastic-free July. 45, I'm going to be doing a morning routine challenge. So picking someone who's either really successful or really mindful or really happy and just trying to do their morning routine every day for 30 days. It'd be so cool if actually some of you could join me in some of these challenges because then I'm not alone. Number 46 is I'm going to do dry January. I mean, I really don't drink that much, so it's not going to be that hard, but it's just a good excuse to be like, no. 47 is I'm going to do a 30-day no makeup challenge. So that'll be fun. 48, I'm going to do I gave up sugar for 30 days. That will be hard. Number 49 is I'm going to do an eat local challenge. So I only eat foods that are locally grown, i.e. in the UK, for a whole month. And then 50, I'm going to do a no social media challenge for a whole month as well. And I feel like all of these are 100% achievable. I just need to get more organized. And that's why I have, you know, decided to write everything down in here and like plan out my year in a way that's fun and not laborious, but also gives you something to look forward to and is quite exciting, because even though some of these challenges are a bit rubbish, like giving up sugar for 30 days isn't necessarily the funnest thing in the entire world. But I feel like the excitement about doing a challenge gets you amped up because you feel like you can push the boundaries of what you're capable of. And to be honest, I'm more excited about the book a week one. When I was really bored at my old job, I actually got up to a point where I was reading 2 books a week, which I don't know how I had the time, but I was so bored. I just was like, I must read. So that will be really fun and really exciting. If you have any recommendations for me, please leave them in the comment section below. Those are kind of my 50 tangible things that I would love to achieve in 2019 and the 10 things that I'm really proud of that I achieved in 2018. Please leave a comment down below and let me know the things that you would love to achieve and the things that you are proud of. I'm also really excited because I'm doing a giveaway with these with Camilla online, which is going to be on the 27th of December, so tomorrow. You just need to go on Instagram and all the details will be there. I'm really excited because I'm really happy to support another woman in this kind of ethical sphere doing something really amazing. And I really hope that you guys go and check out her podcast as well, because it is so wonderful. She, talks to loads of other women about eco living and sustainability and what they're doing. And she's been a real big inspiration for me thinking about my own activism, my own journey. And yeah, there are also 3 other women who are doing wonderful, videos on their resolutions. If you haven't heard of Manuela from The Girl Gone Green, Shelby from Shell Bizzle, and Erin from My Green Closet, they're all doing their videos as well. So definitely go and check them out when they are up, and they will also be talking about the Green Dreamer planners. So yeah, I think it'd be nice to go and support the other women doing great things. As you can tell, I love women and they're wonderful. So thank you so much for tuning in and sticking with this video. It has been quite long, but it has been just a really great year, and I'm really, really, really excited about next year. I'd also love to hear from you if there's anything that you want to see from me in the next year, any kind of different content or stuff like that, or what you would like to see from the podcast if it happens. Ooh. Almost choked on my tea then. And yeah, I really hope that you had a wonderful Christmas, and I will see you very, very, very soon. Happy New Year, you wonderful people. Although I will be making another video. Anyway, I love to ramble and make this video as long as possible. Editing is going to be fun. Anyway, that's all for now, folks. I'll see you very soon. Bye.